Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. This is the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. Let's take a few moments, synchronize our energies, take a few deep breaths if you can. And let's set our intentions for the reading ahead. So, just before going on camera, I was feeling a very powerful message about the KaliYuga. And my understanding, without having looked this up, is that this is referencing some people's belief that we're at a critical turning point. The KaliYuga, I believe, is a placement in the cosmos where once we go through this place, it's like surpassing a portal, an evolutionary portal, where one theme or time is really dying away, and there's a little bit of an overlap here where we're at now, and that on the other side of this there's going to be a complete shift in whether it's consciousness or the material. I haven't looked into it, as I said, but people that believe in this, many of them believe that that's the time that we're in right now, and that's a critical turning point for something. So with that in mind, I already had the deck out. I've got my Kali and Kuan Yin mixed deck. I love the way that they work together. I'm thinking of adding a third deck if you have one. I'd love to get something with maybe Sekhmet, Bastet, or maybe even I should add maybe some masculine, like a Thoth one or something. Or maybe I should have a feminine deck and a masculine deck and use them together. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Let's go ahead and get some messages for the reading. We've had a lot of energy about connecting the masculine and feminine polarities within the self. Okay, we'll take that one. Beautiful. Underneath, Dynasty of the Divine Mother. I'm going to go ahead and get a few, and we'll start out with these energy. Okay, I'm going to put those all in a center spot together. Underneath, we now have Nectar of the Lotus. The three that came out together are all three from the Kuan Yin deck. So the first one is number 30, Nitya Kali. To me, this appears to be the root chakra and talking about the moon cycles, which is what I was thinking of just before going on camera and just before hearing the KaliYuga. I was thinking about the astrology, and I'll share with you some Sabian symbols that are, I think, important, because today, at the time of this reading, this is the full moon in Aries, so we've got this aspect of the self in context of the group, because its opposite sign is Libra, which is relationships and others. So here in the center, we have Maiden Ma Gu, number 16. And this is my card of restraint and somewhat like a Four of Cups, coming out with Tai Chi Rising, number 32. And third, number 38, the Tao. Taking these in together is like holding our energies back while we're going through this elevation of consciousness, a vibrational shift, some type of uprising of our sacred spiritual energies. So this can come up through an emotional upheaval, a shift in change of partnership, job, or friends, or something else like that. But I feel that there's this a bit of an upheaval energy while the new higher vibrations are coming in. And this is talking about not everybody is on board with those shifts and changes at 4:44 on the timer there as I looked up. And so there's a need to keep some of that energy for yourself and to recognize any types of partnerships or situations that you're leaving behind. And then following this, there's this with the Tao, the recognition of the shadow and the light, the yin yang, and how things had to perfectly work out that way in some type of way. It's honoring the good, bad, and ugly in the journey and making sense of it, having some type of perspective that comes in with that. And let's get a third spot here. All right, I want to just fan these cards. Bear with me. There was a sense of real calm yesterday with the full moon that I was feeling, even though we had a predator come into the chicken coop yesterday and it was not calm, but then it lent itself to a hush as the animals were all on guard, not only our domestic chickens, but the birds around the area. There was a hush. Bhairavi Yogini. Apologies if I'm butchering that. So this is number 21. So let me see in the book. They'll tell me what those mandalas mean. That one, they're both in red. I almost feel like the 21 is maybe solar plexus or something. Let me see instead of the root. It says sublime, fierce with sacred rage, cannot be deceived nor deterred. She's unflinching, fearless, and determined. She causes that which is unworthy of the soul to flee and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our hearts to face our fears and signifies that we're ready to overcome anything that has held us back. She gives the power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. And this makes a lot of sense here because we were just talking about not everybody's coming along for the journey, or that there's some type of shift and change as we're growing and evolving. Certain things that don't suit the evolving you are kind of shaking loose. And so it talks about leaving that behind with a bit of fearlessness. And if something needs to be set straight, this energy's been coming through where there's been some type of ongoing loyalty to someone that doesn't necessarily want to change, or let's say them being their way is fine, but it affects you a certain way, such as, working in a particular job for a long time to help the better of everybody there, but you're meant to be an entrepreneur or to go your own way. It's like you can keep helping them because it's not necessarily toxic, but with your raising vibration here, it's become obvious that you have to walk this new path and you have to be fearless in releasing anything that's been holding you back or keeping you small in some way, and maybe even just denying our potential opportunities. So yeah, before I go on, I'm definitely going to read these Sabian symbols here for you as well. So her name means formidable and terrifying. And it's asking about why we would be afraid of the Divine Mother, recognizing that she's fearsome in the sense of divine magnificence and inspiring awe. So somebody that is showing their power to choose in this situation, mostly yourself. In the coming days or month, I feel like you'll be reclaiming a lot of your personal power from whatever the situation was. And as you start to make the process become a reality, you're going to be seeing more and more and more momentum as your energy comes more fully online here. And so I think it's taking somebody by storm. Perhaps they were seeing you as somebody who was like just an employee, just a servant, just a helper, but you're here to be grand, even though you may have been quite humble and things may have been kept in the dark or in your back pocket. You were operating in secret in some way. I mean, that sounds a little bit cloak and dagger, but I guess what I mean to say is you were making boss moves in silence here. And so somebody who just took things at the surface level was underestimating you. And I hope that they'll still support this process, but I think it'll be a different scenario for each one of us viewing. So it talks about, like a force of nature powerful enough to rattle our inflative sense of entitlement and invincibility, she becomes something that we can revere because we recognize with relief a power so much greater than the small-minded workings of ego at play here behind the scenes. What is supporting you is this embodiment of saying, no, I cannot continue to put this off any longer. It's like there's this saying that's been kind of working its way through the readings a bit about it's easy enough or in our best interest perhaps to stay in certain situations while we incubate a plan or continue our manifestation. And so then it's like hold, patience, the long game. And all of a sudden we get this inspiration that, all right, now go. And it's like then the power of the divine is the wind at our backs saying, it's time. Now is the time. You've done enough of the work and you're hearing the consistent, insistent, prayerful assurances from the divine. It's like, take this leap, because it's no longer a leap of faith. So what else? Anything here? Something that motivates the heart. Yeah, something that's calling us forward and pushing us forward at once. And this could be an enlightening moment, like a tower or something that's really going to move us in some type of a way too, because of the words that are here. So yeah, I want to read this statement too. The entitled mind of a young soul, young soul versus old soul. Let's go. And because of this being the Aries full moon in particular, it talks about an impetuous spontaneity where we can come across very fiery and let's make sure we don't go off half informed at this time too. Wait for the power to move your heart and do so from the heart and not from the ego, right? That's the whole idea here behind these cards. So this is where we're going in this case. In number 30, where we're coming from at this time, I feel is a need to really care for ourselves. It's something that's been growing and incubating, like I say, and has been growing behind the scenes. We keep getting this birth card throughout these last few months, this whole summer season here, or winter if you're far away, or timeless readings as well. There's been this previous cycle, and this may be from eclipse portal to eclipse portal, where this evolution is happening within us here. So let's see what this card says. It says, she calls us away from the world to journey inwards where a path of sacred introversion beckons. Turning within may feel natural or unfamiliar, but in journeying within, you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize that you're not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon. Honor your losses, but keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be. So this is, like I say, that divine call of the divine saying, it's time, it's time. And so there's this moment here in the middle where it's like you're almost powering up in a video game to then to let something, some situation, relationship, or so on, to be resolved and laid to rest in some type of a way here. So I just saw the words extreme shock on the other page that isn't part of this card, but I think that that's part of the reading as well. So it talks about this particular moon cycle embodying the natural magic inherent in letting go and allowing for the energies to run their course and to die away. It can be a sign to embrace the qualities of decrease for a period, to bring a cycle of experience to completion and generate what's necessary for the next cycle to be more abundant and nourishing than the last. Given our societal preoccupation with constant activity and outwardly driven connection, honoring Nitya Kali requires the use of our will to honor our soul rhythms above peer pressure. So this can also talk about people in situations such as the pressure to maintain a family environment, or to see projects through to completion, or I thought I was going to retire here, or I thought we were going to grow old together, something such as that. And being able to go against perhaps family pressure or church pressure or something else. Like, for instance, with the last few individuals that I had dated, an individual that cares for me very deeply said both times, was I sure it wasn't something I could just kind of get over and make it work out? And my response was, we're not meant for everybody. We each of us in this situation deserve someone special, somebody that is meant for us, that doesn't bring up constant controversy and anxiety and struggle, because I believe in an abundant universe, right? And so this individual challenged me both times, and the inner narrative can struggle against things too. Like, well, isn't it easier? Isn't it better for you financially to stay here or there or in this comfort? At least they're a tried and true company, and they can, you've got retirement there. Well, that retirement doesn't go away. It stays there, and it's your little nest egg. In fact, it can, even if you have an overabundance of it, who can say they have too much money? Not many of us, probably. Some of that can go into seeding something else, but I'm not a financial guru. I do not make any claims to do so. So I'm just saying that you probably have a few extra options. And if you're getting the momentum to go, it looks like doing your research instead of being completely spontaneous and burning bridges. You may want to soften, be gentle, and just recognize what the highest truth is and what you're being called to do. So under the deck also, Princess of the Autumn Harvest, number 22, this joyful finish line depiction. We'll put that dead center here. So I'll read you these Sabian symbols. If you don't know what those are, check it out. It's a very interesting topic. So the moon happens right around the 25th degree of Aries. And so the karmic degree where it's coming from is 24. And we begin the day out on the 17th here with the sun at the 24th degree. So once the moon hits the 24th degree, it's also, the 24th degree for the sun would be in Libra opposite, if you didn't know. Right now is the full moon. So it begins to really open up and catalyze when it hits the 24th degree. But I want to go back even one more degree for the moon, because the moon travels so fast. So it's already well within orb and culminating into the fullness. So the 20th, oh boy, it's hard to even go back. There's a bunch more behind this too. So let me even go back one more to 22, because this is Princess of the Autumn Harvest, number 22. So 22 Aries says, the gate to the garden of all fulfilled desires. You're breaking through this finish line. Oh yeah, Kalika Tantrika under that. That's really taking your power back from something that was making you feel confined. So there's like this transformational thing. So you're crossing this portal, this gate in your own life, and then you hit this 23rd degree. A woman in pastel colors carrying a heavy and valuable but veiled load. So this hearkening back to the statement about you moving in silence, and you've got a heavy burden here that you've been carrying around, building something, maybe your whole empire, your legacy, whatever it is that you are bringing into this world. It can be a concept or a physical thing, concept or construct. But at any rate, it requires a lot of moving parts, and you have been kind of juggling and compromising and helping things along somewhat unknown to other people, perhaps. 24th degree, as it starts to really build up, an open window in a net curtain blowing into a cornucopia. So here's that wind at your back coming in, and as the wind is coming through, it's bringing the winds of change. It's bringing the push to help you recognize that when that wind is blowing, it's showing you, okay, the cornucopia is here. It's almost like that trumpet from Archangel Gabriel saying, all right, here's your blessing. Do you see it? We're manifesting it. We're showing you the way. And it's like, all right, I see this. It's some kind of synchronicity pushing us forward. And then 25 Aries, a double promise, reveals its inner and outer meanings. And so for some of you, perhaps even those that are considering going back on some type of contract, whether that's a commitment to a partnership, to a job, or something else, there's some type of inner conflict happening here where you are revealing that the fragility of life, and how I'm hearing Mary Poppins say that's a pie crust promise. So this can be the shock, is someone going back on their word, and it could be someone else even. So that lending itself to 26 Aries, a man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. So trusting this process, that veiled load at 2222, really revealing itself to be like, maybe we thought we were left holding the bag in this burdensome way, but all of a sudden, as we uncloak and unveil this gift that we've been holding, or this idea or construct that we're building, then suddenly it's exponential and you can't even hold it any longer. It's the critical mass required for spontaneous birth, the seed, the quickening of the seed that becomes life. And so then 27, through imagination, a lost opportunity is regained. So if you've had a false start or something that didn't fit the bill, whatever is released, the new opportunity is regained. And then you have 28 Aries, a large disappointed audience. And then music of the spheres, and then 30, a duck pond and its brood. So the large disappointed audience, I think that there's something that is being revealed, and something is disappointing another individual perhaps. So looking just quickly at the sun in Libra, we have the 24th degree where it's starting the day off, a third wing on the left side of a butterfly. I'm kind of seeing this as, we have a leg and an arm, us, as we transform. I have often seen energetically these earth angel wings. It's like these extra chakras on the back near the lower shoulder blades. A lot of people hold tension there, and I feel that that tension is related to caregiving and loyalty and burdens that the heart carries unjustly. And as we kind of crack open the seed there, we can sprout these light wings and unlock our beautiful abilities here, whatever it is that we have as soul in body. So perhaps that's the point of the exposure of whatever you're bringing in here. And then 25 says, the sight of an autumn leaf brings a pilgrim the sudden revelation of the mystery of life and death. So through this butterfly transformation, this Tai Chi rising process that you're going through, you ultimately do have to release your caterpillar form. You have to release your hold on the chrysalis, and you have to embrace wholeheartedly this DNA upgrade that makes you into the butterfly here and sprouts that third wing fully, fearlessly, and to take flight onto your own. And part of that is the mystery of life and death, that even if someone has passed away, their energy remains in the heart. And even if we have so-called failures or breakups, or we have to go back on our own word, or someone else betrays or is disloyal to us, this is part of the great mystery. And then 26, that degree that we're applying to, an eagle and a large white dove turning into each other. And then an airplane sails high in the clear sky. So I think there's going to be a point of resistance. The eagle and the large white dove talking about the perhaps confrontational inner verse, or the confrontational moment of making this move and resolving and closing something out. And there's a point of peaceful resolution here as the two are alchemizing, things are released, and that's where the energy starts to untether, disentangle a bit more. Forgiveness happens, release happens, peace in the heart. And as the energy rises, this is that finish line, and then the airplane sails high in the clear sky is the wings that we're gathering in this world. So this Kali Yuga in our own life is some kind of powerful transformation that's happening multidimensionally, I feel, for us. It's, I think, complex, whatever we're passing in our own life. But no matter how hard it would ever be able to try, the caterpillar can no longer become the caterpillar. Did I say that right? The butterfly can no longer be the caterpillar. Excuse my voice. I'm very dehydrated this morning for whatever reason. Remembrance. I think that there's some type of memoriam here, perception, what we remember, how we remember other people. It's like part of us getting over, let's say, a breakup is to remember the positives behind something, not to, bypass whatever we went through, but to say, okay, I'm not going to be bitter about this. I'm going to get better. So I see this. I can witness my part in this. I can honor them and wish them well because I want myself to go on and get better. Yeah, it's all about this releasing of the actual karmic entanglement with somebody, probably somebody who's still here. And it could be the situation that's evolved between the two of you. It could be something that you're both working out with each other, both thinking that the other one is the problem. And that's how we accidentally activate each other, through sacred remembrance and forgiveness and letting bygones be bygones and agreeing to walk our separate ways. Heart chakra underneath the deck with cosmic flower, soul time, synergy, passion, and sacral chakra all right there in a row. So yeah, being able to release without separation energy is how I want to say this. Knowing at our soul what this situation was for ourselves. Yes, alchemy. So remembering how to alchemize a situation here. 2 more. Now, throat chakra. Speaking and declaring this shift in our lives. Declaring our intentions. Allowance. And allowing the chips to fall where they may. Surrendering to the sacred call that's calling you to do something else. So I'll leave those there. And let's see, we're running a little bit short on time. I wanted to get so many other cards, just a few from the Return to Spirit deck. Any supportive, beneficial insights? We have voice coming out, flipping in the deck here. Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm having some throat chakra things happening. I'm seeing confidence, prayers, contact, frequency shift. Yeah, maybe we'll just lay these ones out. Fairy magic, that one came out yesterday, taking our power back from something. Faith, have faith that your prayers are being answered and that as you make this contact, there's this shift in your frequency, shift in your confidence level. Okay, and a resurgence of your sacred sexual energy as well. So I wanted to just get a couple cards from Art of War, Tao Te Ching. Another message from the pregame here while I was shuffling was about the Tao Te Ching message. One of the main concepts of if you think that anything man-made, as well as everything man-made, wasn't actually part of the divine sacred plot to wake us all up and to actually heal life on earth, you'd be mistaken. Everything, even those destructive tendencies that we exhibit and manifest, are part of this sacred energy of the conflict energy. And because of that friction, we continue to exist. Were there no friction, life would go back to the zero in the multidimensional, and it wouldn't manifest in physicality any longer. Physicality is friction. Under the deck here, we have 46. When a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories make trucks and tractors. When a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. There's no greater illusion than fear, no greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself, no greater misfortune than having an enemy. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. So as you're doing this breakup or c'est la vie, stay in your heart space, wish them well and be wished well. 12, colors blind the eye, sounds deafen the ear, flavors numb the taste, thoughts weaken the mind, desires wither the heart. The master observes the world, but trusts his inner vision. He allows things to come and go. His heart is open as the sky. So yeah, making your way through this portal, it looks like you're going to have to travel a little light, but all of the beauties and the wonderful gifts that you have been stockpiling, gathering in resources in support of your calling, are going to be that heavy load transmuted, alchemized into some type of divine gift that it's all coming in. So take good care of yourselves and check back for more messages soon. Until next time.